Hey friends, it's Chris here. I just wanted to show you guys a quick simple palette swapping shader. You can use this to swap colors in your palettes like they used to do with Link and Sub-Zero and Scorpion and stuff like that. So you don't have to make like a whole new set of sprites. You can just swap out the colors. So the way this works is I have some like overviews in my description here in the video that should take you to a color lookup table so you can kind of get the basics of what's going on here. And I also have a link to this project if you want it, but there's not a lot of code. So we'll start here with the sprite. And the way this works is we take the red value of a color, and based on that red component, it's between 0 and 255. There's a red, green, and blue. And based on the red component, we will look up a new color in this background here that we call palette. And so if we look at these colors, the black has a 0 for red component, so that's 0 for all three. The dark blue here has a 0 or a 1 for the red component, sorry. And this light blue has a 2 for the red component. And you can do up to 256 colors that way, and if you want to do more, then you can start including the green and blue and make some kind of formula to have even more colors if you want to do what's called a cube. But we're just going to do real simple with the red and show you how this works. You can do up to 256 colors this way. And so that's your sprite, your basic sprite. And then you've got this background palette. You want it to be a power of 2. We just use 256 in this case because there's 256 values in a red component, so you don't have to do any scaling. So it makes it real simple. I mean, you can, make it any power of 2 and then scale it. You can do that as an exercise on your own. You want to click this use for 3D here, but then you'll edit it. And so we'll just take a real quick look at this one. It's real simple. It's just like a 4x4 here. But so here we've got 0 as a black as our first column, and that's black. So every row represents a color scheme. And so in this case, black's going to be black in all of them because that's 0. And then the 1, which is this dark color, is a red in this first scheme, and the light blue is this yellow. And so in the second scheme, both colors will be red. In the third scheme, both colors will map to yellow. And in this fourth scheme, they'll be swapped from this first one, and then we'll loop it around. So I'll show you the code for how that works in a second, but here's just a real quick how it looks. So you can see, you're just starting with the red for the dark, yellow for the light, then they're both red, then they're both yellow, then they're swapped, then they're back to normal. The black stays black the whole time. Okay, so now we'll take a look at the code real quick. So we have an object that we create, and we just throw it in an empty room here. But we need a create event, a step event, and a draw event. So in the create event, we've got some initialization code. We turn off interpolation so that there's no smoothing being done. This row index will tell us which index or which row of this background palette we're using. And then we only have 4 color sets, so we're going to use like a modulus to loop back around here. And then these shader get commands, they give you like a pointer handle to a value inside your shader, in this case our palette swap shader. And one of them is offset, that's our V offset, and then we've got a normal value to get it between 0 and 1 because it likes texture coordinates like to be between 0 and 1. And then we've got our sampler here, which is our palette that we're going to use. And then this texture palette is, we're going to use background get texture for this background palette to get a like pointer handle to that. So there's that. And then we'll take a look at the shader real fast. Where are you, shader? There you are. And so we just go to the fragment, just leave the vertex part as it is. And in the main function, we add some stuff. We put that offset here that we have a handle to. That's right here as a float. And then the palette, this get sampler is a 2D sampler. So we're going to sample from this 2D texture. And then so in the main function, we've got this is what I call the reference color, which is just this texture 2D base texture blah 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 from text coordinate. This is just like the color not modified as it is. the pixel. And then, so from that pixel, like I said, we take the red value here, this .r, and the offset that we're going to increment here in a second, the row, and we make a 2D vector out of that, and then we call that the UV coordinate. And then the new color is that background palette that we grabbed and set that we're going to set to the background palette in our draw command. I'll show you that in a second. And then we give that the UV coordinate, which is the row and column in this background, to get the new color. And then we set GL frag color. That's the color of this pixel. We set that to the current pixel. We set that to the new color. So get the current pixel color, get the red coordinate, get the offset, make a UV coordinate, pass it into that palette texture, and then push that or give that to the new or the current pixel color. That's how the shader works. So in the draw routine, we set the shader, and then here's where we set the like swap up. So we use this texture set stage where we have our palette swap sampler, which is like a pointer handle to the palette, and then the texture palette, which is a pointer handle, whatever, to the background palette here. And then we'll set this uniform V. It sets a float for that V offset, which in this case is that row offset value. And then we'll set whatever our normalized value is for that is. In this case right now, it's just the row index. It's 0. And then whenever we increment it, we'll normalize it between 0 and 1. And I'll show you that here last. And then we'll draw it, and then we reset the shader. So that's pretty much how it works. And then if you want to change rows, I just put a keyboard command to check for a space bar, and then we increment the row index. And then if we modulus by how many color sets we have, in this case 4, so that'll keep the value between 0 and 3. And then we take that and we divide it by 256, which is the size of this palette, so that way we can get a normalized value between 0 and 1 to pass to the shader. So that's how you get that V normal value. And then, like I said, when you do the draw, you pass that in as the offset, which is again a pointer to this get uniform here. And then you can see one more time in the shader that the offset here is what's used for the Y, their V coordinate of our texture. So that's how it works. And again, here's what it looks like in action. So you can see it's just passing them through and swapping them out. And if I have enough time, I'll include the Aseprite, but I'll probably make a new video. I'll make the next video on this is going to be how to use Aseprite's index color palettes to make it real easy to work with the color palette you like, and then when you're ready to export it, you can just choose a new color palette that has red values between that are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, and then use that as like your GameMaker color lookup. So that's like the next step so you can draw a little easier without having to use colors with strange red values.